Hi, and welcome back to Country Cooking and Living. Today we're going to be making pumpkin puree out of pumpkins. It's really easy and simple. We're going to show you how to get it from a carved pumpkin and how to separate them so that you can keep the seeds for eating, and this will be the pumpkin puree. So my kids and me usually grow our own pumpkin. Very rarely do we buy it from the store. And then we carve them. So let's get to that so I show you how. Okay, so always put down some sort of plastic or a cover. You can get this at the grocery store, or you can take a trash bag and put it that way. And use a spoon, ice cream scoop, knives, doesn't matter. But what you do is you cut around this. I've already cut it though. And you make a little opening. And there will be the seeds and the guts. You will be touching these. If you don't like to touch them, put gloves on. Once you make this around here and you hollow it out and you scrape it and take the guts and you separate them like these. I put these over here, and when I get the guts way down there and I scrape around the sides and stuff, that's what that becomes. So I'm going to separate them on 2 plates to show you that process. All the seeds and all the guts. You're going to have a lot of seeds. But that's okay. You just scrape and scrape and scrape.
I can do it.
Ah. Okay. So as you can see, I'm scraping and scraping and scraping, and you're going to be scraping the sides. You will get pieces like this. That's what you want. You're going to be scraping as thin as you can before it breaks the pumpkin, and you're going to have lots of seeds. I always separate them, and then I separate them in here because I really need to separate them again because seeds get stuck to them. So you just sit here and you scrape, as you can hear it. You can see that the string part, or whatever you want to call it, that's fine. That can go with the pumpkin puree part. These seeds can be roasted. You can eat them like sunflower seeds, or you can undo them from their seed part, the shell, and you can cook them or saute them or whatever, or put them in breads or even into a salad. Everything can be used over. As you can see, you're going to get a lot of seeds. That's okay. So I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to scrape this a lot and have the boys scrape for me because they're quick and fast at this. They've been doing it for quite a many years. So we'll take a break and come back, and I'll show you all the scraping inside. Welcome back. As you can see, they've gotten all the insides out, and now we're going to have to separate them to this side and to that. But if you look inside the pumpkin, it's pretty much scraped as much as you can. And all that was scraped is basically what you're going to use to make the puree. All this. So we'll take a break, and I'll separate this to that. And then we're going to carve a pumpkin. But before we do that, what you do is since we hollowed it, now your job is to wipe it down, clean it off, and then take a permanent marker and make a design. We already made a design, and that's what this is going to be. and we will carve that out, and you will see it later. Welcome back. As you can see, we carved pumpkins, and from this we got that much, and that much. So now we're going to separate them by cleaning them off and then taking the seeds, putting them in one bag until I can get to the seeds, which will be in the next 24 hours. And then I'll take this stuff and that, and I will make it into puree. So in a minute, we'll be back. Thank you. Hi, and welcome back to Country Cooking and Living. From the pumpkins that we did, we have 2 bags of this, and they're pretty full. And now I'm on my last bag, and I'm going to show you how I do this. I try to make sure that I have all the pulp separated from the seeds, and I do, usually as I showed in the video, but sometimes there is a couple pieces that get in. You're going to want to spread this around evenly and make it so that it's no higher than about here, because it cooks down. So as you can see, I'm just taking it out, simple and easy. And you just kind of spread it around. Once this is done and spread it around, I put foil on top. And when I put foil on top, I then put it in the oven for about an hour on 350. And it cooks down and it has liquid in there. You want the liquid and you want the pulp, meat, whatever you want to call it. I don't know the technical terms, but that's just me. And the stringy stuff I still keep, as you can tell. Ethan's script is pretty good. See? With all that separating, there is still a seed. I'm putting it in a bowl over here so that I can keep the seed still. See, there's another one. You don't want to have this in there because the blender doesn't like it, and it tastes kind of woody if you do. So this is why I do it. Yes, you're going to get sticky, slimy hands, but that's okay. I think there was another one. Yeah, there he is. See? They do escape. I think I'm going to have actually the whole bag on here this time. It's got a little skin on it. And I'm taking the whole bag. This is normal for us. And then there's another seed. As you can tell, put it in the bowl. And you just even it out. Yeah, there's another seed. Okay, now we put a foil over it. We tighten it around. And we put it in the oven for about an hour at 350. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to cover it. I'm going to put it in the oven. And I will come back in an hour. Hi, and welcome back. Now, this was just in the oven for about an hour, and now we're going to take off the cover, and you'll see that it's cooked, and it's soft. I'm going to be putting it back in the oven for 15 minutes. The reason why is because it's going to toast around here, and then some of this will be a little bit toasted. Not a whole lot, but it brings out the flavor, and it gives it more of a rustic, robust flavor that I want for my pumpkin puree. You don't have to, but I do it this way and it does very well. See how this has got like some browning to it? That's what I'm wanting this whole thing to do a little bit of. So we're going to put this back in the oven, still at the same temperature, 350. and cook it for 15 minutes. When we bring it out, I will be putting it in to my blender, and we will be making puree. Hi, and welcome back. Now we're going to take the pumpkin puree and put it in here. But I just took it out of the oven. I waited 15 minutes. I want it to still be hot and warm, because when we put it in the jars, it will seal it. So this is going to make about, give or take, about 2 and a bit jars. And each one of these jars, we're filling it to that line. This will make, if you take and divide it in half, right there, it'll make 2 pies or 2 quick breads or a batch of cookies and stuff like that. So we're just scooping it into there, and the liquid that's left over in here will be put in there too. If there is any seeds still, you take them out. You don't put them in this. Like I can see one right there. We do not put these in the blender. There's a bowl over there. Now, this rustic, robust stuff, like I was talking about, it gets cooked along the lines on the middle and the sides. I like that with mine. It gives it more flavor. That's why I do it for the 15 minutes uncovered. Try to scrape as much as I can off the sides. Try to use all stuff as much as I can. I was raised to use and not waste. That's why when we do the pumpkins, I do this. There's another little seed. My kids have got this down to a science and a pattern that they can quickly carve a pumpkin and go and play games. So now we're going to put this off to the side. We're going to pour the little bit of liquid. Sometimes you have more, sometimes you don't. And now we're going to put the lid over it. And we're going to blend it. Like baby food, but it's not. There it goes. Now this is done. I'm going to move this onto the side. And we're going to pour. Be careful when you pour so you don't make a mess. But this is pumpkin puree. I'm just moving this over. Straight away do this. Fill it again. Now we do have another one off to the side that we already started. I'm going to fill that up too. See, when I mean 2 and a bit. I've been doing this all day. Fill it up. You want to scrape it. It's kind of hard to scrape on the camera, but hold on so I can get this scraped up. I try to get as much as I can. It's not science, it's not rocket science, it's just not wanting to be wasteful. It's almost there. So my other batch that I have in the oven that's about to be done in about 6-7 minutes. I'll be filling that up and then starting up another one. And it'll be another 2+ jars. So as you've seen, it's that simple and that easy. And that's how you make pumpkin puree. And what I do is I stick them out in the freezer and I keep them out there until I need them, because you cannot can pumpkin, but you can freeze it, and when you need it, you just take it out. And remember that half line that I showed you right there? It will be 2 batches. If you go there, that's 1 batch, and then the top up will be another batch of whatever you need. Cookies to pies to quick breads, it's there. You just have to add what you want to the recipe. Don't have to add much sugar. If you want to, you can, but it's simple and easy, and as you've seen, it's not that much work. So until next time, peace, love, and hope.